In this video, we are going to talk about content marketing versus outbound marketing and which one you should choose to get 100, 200, 300 appointments every single month. And I'm going to reveal which of these two methods is bringing us 5 to 15 meetings every single day. So let's dive into it. First of all, what is content marketing and what is outbound marketing? Content marketing is, of course, if you have like a cute girl placing a lot of nice content on her Instagram stories and Instagram to eventually get people to her OnlyFans subscription. And outbound is actually the cute girl going out to these men, sending some nice pictures and then getting them in their subscription. And that is, of course, content marketing and outbound marketing. That is a little bit different than what we as agency owners or coaches do, but it's a little bit similar. So it is actually really posting content on social media channels, and that is content marketing. So this can be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. That is content marketing to eventually nurture people, build an audience, get them on the call and sell them, or you have a different selling mechanism. And outbound marketing is actually outreach. So someone is going out to another person, is chatting with another person and persuading the person to get on the call, for example, and then eventually bringing them on as a new client. And that is content marketing and outbound marketing. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of content marketing and outbound marketing. First of all, let's talk about the pros of content marketing. There are a lot of pros and cons of content marketing and outbound marketing, but one of the biggest pros of content marketing is that there is leverage. Okay, so eventually when you build an audience, you will have more and more leverage, because eventually you can just post one video and thousands of people are able to watch it and thousands of people eventually really watch it. At the start, you don't really have that much leverage, because if you don't have an audience, not really that many people are going to watch it. But if you really build an audience, then you have more and more leverage. That's also why we have the second benefit, or the pro is actually, it's also good for the long term, because eventually when you do content marketing, more and more people get to know you and eventually are able to buy your product, trust you and do all of these different things. So eventually, if you build a personal brand, it has a lot of benefits in the long term. You're also creating an audience, which eventually makes your business more stable, for example, if you can also then convert that audience into money, for example, or into customers. The life of content is also pretty long if you post it on the right channels. So for example, if you post a YouTube video, then it's possible that like in 2 years or 3 years from now, people are actually still watching that YouTube video. With Instagram and Facebook, it's a little bit different, but with YouTube, it has a pretty long life. For Facebook and Instagram, it has a short life. You still need to continue to push content in order to engage people and convert them eventually. Then the cons of content marketing, it takes a lot of time for the business owner itself. Okay, so most of the time the business owner is going to create the content, and it just takes a lot of time. You need to create videos, you need to do copywriting, you need to post, you need to do a lot of different things. So it takes a lot of time. Another con is that you as a business owner need to do it in most cases, or at the start, and maybe you don't want to really be on video or be known or create an audience. Because of course you need to want that as well, because you need to expose yourself to more and more people and expose yourself to the internet. So that might be a con for some people as well. You need to have some confidence in yourself in order to post these things and just expose yourself. Another con is it takes a really long time to ramp up, because if you don't have an audience yet, sometimes it takes 6 to 12 months in order to really get it going and to eventually get results. So it just takes a lot of time in order to really get it working and build an audience. It takes a long time. Then let's talk about the pros of outbound marketing. One of the biggest pros is, of course, that you can get results really quick. Okay, you can just reach out to people, or you can let someone reach out for you and persuade them to get in the call. If they're on the call, you have a new client. Okay, so it's pretty easy to sign new clients fast if you know what you're doing. For example, you can create a campaign right now, you can set up accounts, you can eventually build the outbound system, and then in 2-3 weeks you have a lot of outbound going on and you are already signing clients. That's how fast it can go. So another pro is, of course, it's easy to sign clients fast. Another pro is it requires minimum effort, because eventually you can just create a script, you can optimize that script. If it's optimized, you can let someone else just follow the script and you are getting calls. It's really easy. Just optimize the script properly, make sure you understand what to say, what not to say, and then eventually you can scale it with minimum efforts. Then we're coming to the scaling part as well. It is scalable to a certain degree, because outbound is just about volume. If you have more volume, so more input, more chats, you have more appointments, you have more sales, okay? So eventually, if you think like, hey, I have 2 appointments a day right now, I want to have 4, just double the input, you have double the output. So this means just double the chats that you open every day and you have double the amount of appointments. That's how simple it is. It's just a volume game. Another pro of outbound marketing is that a company is higher valued if the company does outbound marketing instead of ads. Because investors are valuing outbound marketing more than running ads, for example, and they think it's more stable and more predictable because it's literally input, output. You send a lot of chats, you persuade a lot of people to hop in the call, and you have a certain output. It's really stable and it's really consistent and predictable. And that's why probably these investors are valuating a company at a higher level as well than if a company runs ads. Then let's talk about the cons, okay? So the half-life is a little bit poor sometimes. There's not really exponential growth with outbound marketing itself, because you're sending a message to a certain people, to a certain person, and if the person isn't responding, then you have nothing. You need to send another message again, and then the person can eventually hop in the call. But you just send a message, if the person doesn't respond, it dies off again. So the half-life is poor. Another con is it's just about client acquisition. If you want to build a big personal brand or whatever, and you only use it for client acquisition, then it's only for client acquisition. And most people are actually really using it for client acquisition. You can use it for a lot of different other things as well, which we are going to experiment with as well, but most people only use it for client acquisition. And so this means getting appointments and getting clients. But yeah, most businesses want more clients, so then outbound marketing is of course perfect. So as a coach, do outbound and a little bit of content. And the reason for this is if you are a coach, sometimes you need to just express your expertise a little bit on the internet so they know like, hey, this guy is actually legit. If you are a software or agency, always do outbound and maybe add content in a later stage. This is because like as a software agency, you don't really need to post content, like you deliver a certain result. And of course, it's really helpful to show your expertise, but it's not always needed. As a coach, it's also not really needed, but it depends on what kind of coach you are and what kind of strategies you are using. But as a coach, it's a little bit more needed than a software or an agency. Another way you can actually use outbound is to grow your audience faster. So before I mentioned, most people are actually using outbound to get appointments and eventually close deals. But you can also use it to grow your audience faster. And this is what we are going to test out as well. We are going to run outbound to either grow our Facebook group or this channel. One of the two, we are still going to check it out. And then we are growing our audience while we are doing outbound. And actually it's like the perfect model because you are going to get appointments. And while you're getting appointments, you're also growing your channel, your Facebook group, or whatever. And that's the hybrid model that we are going to test out right now. Because if we have a lot of people that get to know us or get to know you if you're doing outbound and you don't post content, that's what we did before, then you can't really build a lot of trust because people can't really get to know you before they hop on the call, or you can't really nurture them that well before they hop in the call. So in my opinion, just always do outbound since it makes sure you're getting appointments and clients coming in, and eventually you can also use it to grow your audience faster. Because if you're posting content and you're only posting content, then you're not always getting enough reach and and you're limited by your own content, by your own reach. But if you're doing outbound with a lot of profiles, a lot more people are getting to know you, and then you can grow your brand faster as well. And for the rest, like, you can do outbound for a lot of different things. You can get people on podcasts, you can get a job, you can grow your YouTube channel, get appointments, and much more. So eventually, if you're running an agency, start doing outbound right now. If you are a coach, start doing outbound right now, but because it only has positive benefits. It only has positive effects because you're getting more clients and you're building your brand faster. So the thing that gets us 5 to 15 appointments every single day right now is also outbound marketing. And right now we are in a stage where we have a sales team, we have a whole appointment setting team, and now it's time for me to also make sure that I'm showing my expertise online and make sure that people get to know me and build an audience for the long term as well. So this is it. To sum this up, outbound is the go-to way to get fast results if you don't have a big audience yet. And even if you have a bigger audience and you can still take on more clients, do outbound because you're getting more clients and your brand grows. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in another video.